You're listening to the AstroMommy Daily Horoscope, a forecast that hopes to shine a light in the dark, helping us all see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Whether you're a first-time listener or a long-time subscriber, thanks for being here. I truly appreciate you being in the AstroMommy community. I hope you enjoyed today's horoscope and card reading. If you would like to support the AstroMommy Newsletter, there are several ways to do so. Subscribe on Substack, share it with a friend, schedule a reading, check out my family's Etsy shop, Metaphysical Flamingo, or just leave a tip. Without further ado, here is the Daily Horoscope. Sun sextile Saturn, Moon square Neptune, Mars square Chiron. Trust in your own magic. Onward! Daily horoscopes for Monday and Tuesday, April 24th through the 25th, 2023. Good morning, friends. Well, this morning has felt like a whirlwind of warm oceanic breezes. It's a beautiful day, and I have had a lot of fun researching, reading, and contemplating astrological phenomena. You'll have to excuse my tardiness for today's horoscope and blame it lovingly on my Gemini rising, Mercury and Scorpio dynamic in my chart. I love to research, get into the nitty-gritty data, and go deep, and I am a very curious person. And when I feel inspired to check something out, I have to go down that rabbit hole. This aspect of my personality can mean that I am late to other things. Not that I don't equally value or respect those other things, but I can get lost down that rabbit hole of discovery and come up a bit later than intended. I was just watching a great video that my teacher Adam Ellenboss put out on parenting tips for Gemini kids, and one of the most helpful things he said, not only to keep in mind with my own Gemini daughter, but also to remember about myself, is to support curiosity. The Gemini mind is curious, inquisitive, and doesn't take things at face value, but rather needs to find out for themselves what is true. This fits so well, being that Gemini is ruled by Mercury, Hermes, the traditional god of astrology, and was said to be the master of arguments. It is therefore the Hermetic way to do things. Collect data, see for yourself how things work, and then make your own assessments and conclusions based on your own observations. This is exactly the way that I like to practice astrology. I take copious notes, dissect the transits, and journal what is going on in my own life so that I may go back and reflect if a transit comes back around again, and make more notes. I find this super fun and fascinating. So if the horoscope isn't out first thing in the morning, it's most likely a combination of mom duties and deep explorations of astrological phenomena. So now that I've popped back up, let's get into the astrology. Today, the moon starts out in Gemini and is moving slowly at only 12 degrees, 22 minutes per day. She is also out of bounds and may be a bit of a wild card moon today. Interestingly enough, Mars is moving back within bounds and will be within the obliquity of the Earth by May 5th, the day of the lunar eclipse in Scorpio, traditionally ruled by Mars. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out this post where I explain what out of bounds means. Venus is now out of bounds as well, and while Mars is moving back within bounds, she is moving out. This is interesting because Venus and Mars will almost conjoin this year in Leo, but won't because Venus will station retrograde before they can make that bodily conjunction. I feel that this little dance that Venus and Mars are making intimately ties into the eclipse energy that we are in right now. The particular eclipse series 7 North that we are in has to do with Pluto, Venus, and Mars, so this transformative energy is very personal for us, for all of us right now. If you'd like to know more about this eclipse and what it's all about, please read these two posts here and here. If you are listening to the podcast, make sure you go to the show notes to check out those links. All right, back to today's horoscope. So the moon is in Gemini and the sun is in Taurus. The sun in Taurus is now off of his square to Pluto in Aquarius, so that relieves a bit of pressure for a moment. The sun will conjoin the North Node today and at the same time form a partile sextile to Saturn in Pisces, which will actually perfect tomorrow morning. This is a very destined moment and may feel spiritually aligned or like you have found the path in life. The sun in Taurus in a harmonious aspect to Saturn in Pisces can represent a divine structure or healthy boundary enabling your destiny to unfold. It's about stepping into your mission, the plotline of your life, and in this case, Saturn is supporting you from a mystical divine space. The image of someone walking on water comes to mind. You think that if you step onto the water, the surface will give way and you will sink to the bottom of the ocean. But once you step, you realize, although it looks fluid, it's solid and actually holds you up. Saturn is the planet of tests, and Pisces is a sign of faith in the divine. And this week, there is a test of faith. It reminds me of that scene in the movie Onward, where the main character has to cross a great bottomless pit and has to trust that the bridge he is magically building, which is invisible, will actually be there when he takes his first step. His brother is there to support him and encourage him, but ultimately he has to find the courage to believe in himself on his own. If you haven't seen the movie Onward, it is an excellent movie, and this scene really fits the archetypal energies at play this week. There is a link to that scene below. Right after the Sun conjoins the North Node and sextiles over to Saturn, the Moon will perfect a square to Neptune, so there could be feelings of doubt about the path that has materialized before you. Is it real? Is this too good to be true? How is this possible? Don't let the confusion and fog of Neptune derail or drain your enthusiasm. Trust your gut about this, whatever it is. The Moon will ingress into Cancer today at 2:58 p.m. Eastern Time, and by late tonight form a sextile and a trine to the North and South nodes, respectively. So by tonight, we could be feeling a lot more comfortable with this new path. It's like we've been looking at it all day, watching it, observing it, making notes, and by tonight, we've realized it's really there. I feel the day is a good one. We just have to not give in to our doubts and fears. This energy is there throughout this week as well, as Mars is getting closer and closer to his square to Chiron, and we are also 1 week away from Pluto stationing and going retrograde. But with the Sun sextiling Saturn, there's actually some support. So this week we may feel afraid of the changes, vulnerable and uncomfortable, but I think that the key is to have faith that it will all work out in the end and to trust that inner knowing. Let's move on to the card for the day. What is the guidance for today? The High Priestess, reversed. Yes, this is exactly what I was just talking about. The High Priestess in the upright position, pictured below, is all about trusting our intuition and knowing that the answers we seek are within. But in the reverse position, pictured above, it means we are feeling self-doubt, fear, and spiritually disconnected. We may even be hiding our truth from people or situations because we lack trust in them. This card is urging us to take a moment to reconnect with our inner wisdom, stop listening to the thoughts and feelings of others, which may not align with our core values, and listen to our intuition instead. We may feel vulnerable this week with the Mars square Chiron energy that is building, so it's important to focus on the beautiful things we are creating and building that will support the lives that we want. The Sun sextile Saturn energy is about stepping into your power, which, although wonderful, can be scary. So stay focused, positive, and in the light. Let me know if this reading resonates with you in the comments. I hope this is helpful. Until Wednesday, AstroMommy.
Thank you for reading or listening to the Daily Horoscope. Quick links and resources can be found at the bottom of the newsletter. Today's card was pulled from the Universal Waite Tarot deck, available on Amazon. If you seek knowledge and enlightenment, the AstroMommy Newsletter may be right for you. Side effects of reading or listening to the AstroMommy Newsletter are common and include joy, jubilation, delight, happiness, gratitude, love, triumph, feeling in tune with the universe, experiencing deep insights, reflections, and contemplations, a lightened soul, a lighter step, feeling awake when others are asleep, illuminated, enlightened, having spiritual experiences, noticing repeating numbers, animals in nature, or songs on the radio that speak to you, getting vibes, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsmelliance, feeling like you know secret language, biophilia, crying tears of joy, emotional literacy, feeling lively, stable, exalted, having an auric glow, or feeling like you woke up on the right side of the bed have all been reported. If you purchase anything through the affiliate links that I provide in the newsletters, I will make a very small commission. Thanks for listening.